this on almost every card.
Well,
so I'm
yay.
gonna talk about that a lot too. Except for a couple.
Oh, this doesn't want to go in. There we go. Good morning, Marcia. Hi, Mary. Lori's watching. Beth is here. And Teresa's here. Yay.
Good morning.
Yay, yay, yay.
Mic's on.
It's Monday. She couldn't, oh, she found her name tag.
Yes.
She said she had her sunglasses but no name tag today. Teresa's here and she's going to show us the cards that she made with Enchanted Autumn and show us how to use one of the cut apart papers. That's really cool because it's sized for perfect A2 card fronts. And I think you could probably use them on an A7 just perfectly fine. Also, hey, I want to tell everybody that Hope was here on Saturday and she is making an amazing album.
Oh my gosh.
And it's all Enchanted Autumn. And every day we have a demo. Hope is kind of, I'm going to say, replicating it in her album.
Yes.
And it's so cool.
Very
and I'm going to
cool.
post pictures after today's video. But in case you, you know, just got back from out of the country and you've been gone for a few months.
On vacation, maybe.
On vacation or whatever, we are celebrating Enchanted Autumn, which is actually celebrating our 20th anniversary. And this is a paper pack that's got 25 sheets of paper in it that we designed just for the fall and just to celebrate our anniversary. And here's the little flowers that Teresa made with it. Teresa, I love
20
these.
years.
Yep, a big 2-0, big 2-0, big 2-0. So a lot of the ideas that we're showing are perfect for your autumn, Enchanted Autumn papers, but they can be used with your other things also.
Yeah.
A lot of the techniques you can use with
Yeah.
other things.
We have a lot of paper crafting ideas, but today we're going to go back to cards. Last week I did the little votive and the flowers. I talked about those. And the paper pack has a lot of paper you can use for scrapbook pages or for cards. And this is the page that I used. I used 5 of these. I didn't use this one, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to take these and put something on there to make a card. The back is purple, one of my favorite colors. So if you don't want to use this side, you've got purple.
Daughter and both of my grandsons love purple,
Yeah.
so purple's very special.
I like
and
purple
hard to
and
find.
green.
It's very hard to find.
Yeah, so this is perfect. And I just wanted to show that these are 4x6s, so they're perfect for an A2, and like Kelly said, they would go on the 5x7 card as well. But she designed them so that you can trim them off if you want to fit on a card base. So let's show you the cards first, and then we'll show you that part.
And then when we get done here, we have a whole selection of State Fair product that we're going to go over and look at too.
Because everyone went, the fair's done now.
Fair's done and school started.
Yeah.
We didn't even mention that, Teresa.
Yeah.
School started.
Ankeny starts today. Urbandale's tomorrow, where I'm from. So,
boy, the traffic was terrible this morning.
oh, was it?
Yeah,
the buses are out. I saw buses on my way
and the
here.
parents and everybody. It was really crazy.
All right. Well, this first one I didn't use the thing, but this is my I know. This is my favorite background in the packet. I just love the little small flowers, and it would be good for a scrapbook page as well, or a card. And so this one I just inked the edges of that, and I use this die. And these are back in stock. It's called leaf print, and we were out of these, but this is back in stock, and this is from last year. And it's kind of cool because it cuts the background of the, if you can see, it cuts the background of the leaf, and then it has the veins, so you can layer them with 2 different colors. So that's kind of cool. And I got that one last year. And then I just wound twine and stuck that down and popped these up. So the pop dots kind of hold the twine on there. And then I stamped thank you, and I want to tell you the stamp set that I used is the Greetings from Amanda, and I use this on almost every card, this stamp set on almost every card that I made, and this is Dawn's daughter designed this, and it's $14.99, and we've had this for a while, so
It's a good classic.
It's a good basic. And you know what I used on these cards, I didn't buy anything new. This is just dies and stamps from my stash. So this is a good one to have in your stash, just to make cards if you want to, you know, have cards in your stash, which I always do. It's always good to have a thank you card on hand. So that's that one. Then this one, I use the, what's it called? I can't remember. I can never remember the names. The Tree Rings Mini. So that's what I used last week on the little votive. And then I also, again, used, which is a good one to have, I say
wreath.
Everyone should have the funky wreath on that one, because it has the leaves and then it also has the branches. And I used the branches on the votive last week. So this one I used the leaf part. And then my favorite fall die is the funky foliage, because I like the little acorn and the mushrooms
the
in
flowers and the acorn.
Yeah, the flowers are good. The stems with the leaves are good on there. And you don't have to use this for fall. I use this one, this little piece, all the time on cards. So it really depends on the colors that you die cut them with, what you use it for. But
well,
it's
same
a good,
with the wreath die, the funky
oh yeah,
wreath.
the wreath.
You can use it for anything.
Yeah, summer, winter, spring, fall. Yeah, and then this one is another one of the cut aparts. I should have pulled that one out. I know we have
the paper pack. We still have the paper pack available, the Enchanted Autumn, and it's online. If you go to shopping, it's got its own category right in the front, and you can find it there.
Yeah, so this is another cut apart, and it has some little sentiments. Didn't I cut? Oh no, that's not from that one, is it? Where did that come from? That's from the cut apart somewhere, isn't it?
It's
not
the
that
border
one.
page. I think it's the
border
borders.
page. Okay. Well, anyhow, that
Here, I can show the border page. Here is.
It's Monday. Oh yeah, the borders. Okay, I remember now.
It just clicked.
Brain fart.
Everybody heard that click.
Yes. Oh yeah, and I don't have that piece. I cut that piece up. I used a lot of the paper, but I still have some left, and you'll probably keep seeing it throughout my fall cards because I really like it. This was just one of the background, pages that I use. I really like the back sides of some of the paper because they have this, textury look to it.
Yeah, it's not like solid. It's kind of mottled.
Yes, that's it, the mottled. And I really like that. And I just sewed around the edges, and real simple card, but I think it turned out pretty good. I like it.
It's great, Teresa.
Yeah. Then this one, you guys know I love the hexagon die from Tim Holtz. And I just die cut two pieces, actually, the base piece and then the top piece. So did flowers, leaves, a pumpkin. There's a little wood grain. That's from that strip piece, just an orange. And then I've got my funky insect bee and thinking of you. And for this one, I used a background, a stamp, and I made my own background, and it's from Field Notes. And it's hard to see maybe because I just used... what color ink is that? Not pumice stone. What's that really light one?
Antique linen.
Yeah, that's it. Antique linen. I used gathered twigs on all the browns that I used. If you don't have gathered twigs, it's a good ink to go with this set. But here's the Field Notes. And so I just stamped with antique linen and made my own background. And it's nice, soft, subtle, and it's a perfect color. And then I stamped Thinking of You, again with that Greetings from Amanda. And that's with the Rusty Hinge. And Rusty Hinge goes really nicely with this set too. It's kind of the orange.
That's good to know.
Orange color, yeah.
And Teresa, what I love is that you cut the hexagons out of pattern paper. I don't think I've seen anybody do that yet. So I thought that was really unique.
Yeah. There's lots of little prints. I could have used this. This would have been good too to use on there. But I'm hoarding this.
She's hoarding that because it's her favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, and Mary's asked about the tree ring die, and she's wondering if it comes in anything but a Biggs. And it is only a Biggs right now. because it's got you can cut chipboard, and it's got the embossing folder and everything with it.
So he made it really, I mean, I use it on cards all the time, but yeah, it takes up a little bit of space. We're not used to these bigs anymore, but I just, you have to buy a couple of them, and this is probably my favorite that I have of the bigs. I don't have a lot. All right, so now the next cards are the ones with the cut-aparts that I used.
Okay, so now we're getting to what we're here for.
Yes. So this one, you can see that it's 4 inches across because this is an A2 card, but I just left it long, and I was still able to trim a little bit off. Where did my big piece go? I'll show you this one. So there it is. And so it's 4 inches across. So I was able just to trim a little bit off of the top, and I probably trimmed maybe a little bit off the bottom. It just depends on, you can trim wherever you want to get it to the 5.5 inches. So you just have to cut a 1/2 inch off there. And then I used the Amanda's stamp, and I put a flower and some twine on there. Oh, and this is a top fold, so
Oh, that's a little different.
Yeah. And my go-to is peeled paint, so I'm sure that's peeled paint, which I also think matches the set really nicely.
So peeled paint and rusty hinge and gathered twigs.
Gathered twigs. Those were my stamps. I have my inks on my table, and that's what I used. And then I want to show you this one. I didn't make this card. Dawn made this card, but she cut, which I think is very clever, right around the frame, and then, the flower is hanging off the edge of the frame, and so she fussy cut that. And I'm like, that's so pretty. What a clever, I didn't even think to cut to the frame, but it's easy with a square one, so.
It is. Stick it on your trimmer, and away you go, except for the side on the
this
right.
Side, that'll be a little tricky, and then she fussy cut it, but I really like that.
So that shows you both ways to do it.
Yep. All right, here's another one, and this is just, which oval? This oval here. I really like the ovals. It was fun. I don't use ovals very often, but it was fun to use them and see what I could put inside. And this is the In the Park die. That's a little bit older. We're out of that one right now, but we've got it on order.
Yeah, that one's coming.
And there it is. This is kind of the Mary Poppins one, and I really like this one. I like Mary Poppins, and I've had fun with this die.
You have had fun with
I've used the guy a lot, and so
it's got the what do you call that?
The net?
The net. Thank you. That was a tough word.
Yeah.
And it's got an umbrella or a kite, or an open or closed umbrella. It's got lots of different things.
And a little windmill, or not wind. What do you call it? Windmill?
Pinwheel.
Pinwheel. That's it. Pinwheel.
It's Monday, Teresa. We can find our words.
Apparently.
Okay. Here's the stamp that people are asking about. It's called Greetings from Amanda, and it's online if you go to stamps, and I think Memory Bound has its own category out there. But you could also type in the word Amanda in the search bar, and it'll pop right up.
Yeah. It's a go-to set.
We all love those.
And then on this one, I used, this came out this was in Tim's last release, and it's Metallic Sticker Book, and that's Find Joy in the Ordinary, and that's on his Tiny Text stamp. But if you don't like stamping, it's really fun. It has black with gold, and then it has white with gold, some of his good sentiments. And then the other fun thing that this has is the stickers, so you labels, so you can stamp inside your labels. I thought there was a black one too.
Sharon lost sound. So did anybody else lose sound? Our lights are on here. So try to go out and come back in, Sharon. And if anyone else has lost sound, please let us know. Sometimes Facebook does weird things.
Yeah.
So there's where you put Find Joy in the Ordinary.
And I do have the same stamp, but I really like the gold with this. I thought the gold in these colors was really pretty. Little teeny tiny butterflies, and then I actually cut her twice so I could make her hat purple and her shoes purple.
Cool.
So I had to fussy cut a little bit, but I just wanted that pop of color. I like purple and green together, so
They go well together.
Yep, and I just did a little stitching on the edge. So I trimmed this down all the way so that I had
Look
my
at those little tiny butterflies.
4 by 5 1/4. Yep.
Dawn was getting her sewing machine out, Teresa.
Oh,
She's going to
good.
do some sewing.
Good. All right, here's another one with pumpkins, another oval. And, you know, fall is big for pumpkin lattes and pumpkin is that what they called
yep.
at
pumpkin
Starbucks?
spice lattes.
Yes,
or something
yes.
Like
So I thought I had to make one, and I used the Cafe Colorized. And this is another one that I think people should have in there.
Teresa will tell you what you should have in your collection.
I know. You should have this. You know, and I'm not even a coffee drinker, but I send, you know, gift cards and things, and it's a fun die. I definitely use this one more than the coffee cup, but I have used the coffee cup, and I'm sure I'll use that for cocoa cards and things when it gets to be winter. So this is a one of those that you can use year-round for all different types of cards. So I just die cut that, and that You're the Best stamp fit perfectly on there.
And that's from greetings from Amanda.
Yes. And then I stamped the word pumpkin. And the way I did that is Tim has some tiny text stamps. And I just found some words that had the letters that I need and stamped them and then trimmed them out. I know it's a little bit crazy, but I thought that was a fun way to do it. And he has 3 different tiny texts. He has a Halloween one and a Christmas one. And I have the Halloween one, and I'm going to be making cards
I know,
with that
especially
again.
with those new Halloween stamps coming out.
Yes, and we do have the Halloween one. But, you know, you could use, if you have other stamps, you know, you can do the same thing with other word stamps.
That's
but
a good idea.
These are just nice because they're like, you can find them kind of in the same font, and he has lots of words, so you can pretty much find any letter that you need
So
there.
I call that ransom stamping.
Oh,
Ransom
yes.
letters.
Wow. Yeah, that's fun. So Pumpkin, You're the Best. I thought that was kind of
And
cute.
this was cut out of the Enchanted Autumn paper too?
Yep. That's all I
Very
used
cool.
on these cards. I didn't use anything. I used one piece of green cardstock that comes in the pack that we have that coordinates.
And I should mention, since you brought that
Yeah.
up, Teresa, good transition. The cardstock packs, we will have more in stock. We're waiting for one color. It's like we had them all, and then we reordered, and one color didn't make it because it was back ordered.
Of
So then we
course.
get that color, and then another color
Another
is
color
back
goes
ordered.
out of
So we're
stock.
waiting for one color, and we'll have more of those cardstock packs.
Yeah. All right. Here's another cut apart, and this one has a square on the inside, and I just really like how soft it is.
So that is this one right here.
Yep. And then I use this older stamp. It's Specimen, and it has a big old moth. I guess this is a moth. I use the moth instead of the butterfly. You got to try some of your other stamps sometimes, you know. And I did stamp this in the background. That was with, what color did I say I used? The antique linen.
Rusty hinge. And
That's antique linen and rusty hinge, and then that's gathered twigs. And then I used the ticket booth. This is one that I think everyone should have. And there's a stamp set that goes with it too, that coordinates the ticket booth stamp set and the ticket booth dot. I got it upside down.
I hadn't noticed.
It doesn't really matter with the tickets. But I use the die probably more than the stamp because I like to stamp other things on there. And then of course I use the little tiny attacher to stick that down.
Staple it on.
I like to have a little texture on my cards. So.
It's nice to know that's gathered twigs that you stamp the moth with, because that's a perfect color.
Yeah, they are. And then here's the last one. And when I was gathering the stuff to show for my cards, I was like, oh, what paper is that? And then it is on the cut apart, which I totally forgot. It's been a long time since I made these cards.
It's hard when you make them way in advance.
Yeah, and so that's a nice cut apart too. And I just like how the edge is. What did you say that was called, Kelly?
It's kind of modeled.
Modeled, yes.
I don't know what the proper word is, but
yeah. And then I use the funky foliage on that one. I made my mushroom kind of the focal point of that one, and I stamped the word hello. And then I use the switchlet, and it's called Switchlet Seal. And maybe I'll show that again. If people want to see that, just say if you want to see it again, how it works.
Yeah, if you want to see Teresa show us the switchlet.
Yeah, I showed that a while back when they first came in, but this is one of those things you should have in your stash too, because it's just so cool. You can switch out, like here I used the scallop, but there's also a plain circle and then the zigzag circle that you can make, and it has the texture. It embosses and cuts at the same time. And I'm sure that Tim is going to come out with more shapes of these. I just think it's so versatile, and it's only $11.99, and it's a perfect size for a card or a scrapbook to stamp, or to write some journaling in.
I thought even on a scrapbook layout you could put your title in there.
Oh,
put a letter in each one.
Yeah, that would be cute.
Teresa, we do have, they want to see the
that.
switchlets,
Okay.
and we do have a question. How did you darken behind and around the lady, Mary Poppins? Was that just the paper?
That's just the paper.
Looks like you
you
might have added a little bit of gathered twigs.
Maybe I inked a little bit. I mean, you would just take your blending tool and just, I don't remember
add a little
doing
bit of
that.
gathered twigs. It looks like you might have darkened it just
Usually
a little bit.
I ink around the edges, always. That's just something that I do when I put my paper down. So
very, very cute.
Yeah. So we're just going to show, here's a piece of that paper.
Whoops, we just lost our handle.
That's all right.
It's been broken for a while.
I'm going to go this
trimmer
way.
we've probably had, oh gosh.
I'm struggling
I
here.
don't know, maybe 10 years.
Yeah. And it's still really sharp.
Well, Bonnie says she loves all your cards.
Oh, thank you.
Chris loves them.
So I'm cutting there.
Kathy loves them.
So it's 4 by 6. If I can get it.
When we designed this paper, we designed it so the inside image sat inside of the 4 by 6 boundary, so you could easily trim it down to a 4 by 5 1/4 if you wanted to.
I need the handle. I kind of messed up on that a little bit. I just want it nice and clean. All right, so you can see that it's bigger than the card base that we're doing. So I'm just going to trim a little bit off. So I have to go to 5 1/2 probably. So I might trim off of both ends. I just kind of went back and forth and looked at it and went, yeah, that's good, or no, I want a little more off the top. So there, it fits perfectly on the card like I did that one. I just left the side, so I peeked a little bit of cardstock out. But then if you want to take more off so that you get down to 5 1/4, see, and I could either go at the top or the bottom. I think I'm going to go a little more at the top. I don't want to cut this.
And if you love these papers, we do have a few of the collections available. And you can call us or they're online. Oh, there you go. So you could either make it so it mats evenly around or keep your top and your bottom.
So that's that one. Oh, I have one already.
Oh, I'm sorry, Leanne. Leanne went and got us a big shot. Teresa's hiding it under the table. I didn't know you were so prepared.
Well, I thought people might not remember or might have missed it.
Did you bring yours from home?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't recognize that big shot.
Oh, no, this is ours.
It is? That's memory bound?
Yeah.
Let me look at it from this side. Oh, I don't even recognize it.
All right. So if you have the flipper, you have to, you don't use it on the number 2. You have to flip it where you usually use your embossing folder.
Because it does emboss, so that's a good way to remember
it. So it cuts and embosses. And then you get this nice little folder to store your dies in. So there's a circle, the scallop, and the zigzag. And here I already cut one out of the zigzag, so I'll do the scallop. That's what I used on my card. So what's really fun is that this is the embossing folder that you get, and you can see there's 4 little magnets on there. And so the circle magnetizes right on there. You put your paper, and you could spray it a little bit. I didn't get a sprayer, so I'm just going to cut it.
Oh, good reason.
Just going to go.
Good reason. on that nice.
And I missed a little bit. If I can get it out of the embossing folder.
There's the zigzag one. Oh, there we go.
And there we go. It cut and embossed. So it's so much fun.
It does it all at once.
It does it all at once.
Run it through one time.
Yeah. And you could like ink that. You know, I mean, I use the pattern paper, so it's going to work on the pattern paper. There it is again.
So there you can see the embossing really well. Teresa, thanks for showing us that.
Yep, those are just $11.99. And like I said, I'm sure Tim's going to come out with more shapes. I hope he does anyhow.
I bet maybe in the Christmas release we'll see more of those.
Yeah. It's a fun little toy.
Well, Teresa, thank you for sharing your cards.
Yeah.
Those were all super amazing. I just love them.
There's lots you can do with those cut-aparts, that's for sure. And if you don't use ovals all the time, like I don't, it was a good challenge for me. I had a lot of fun making these cards.
And the ovals were an accident, if I must say.
Were they?
They were. It's something we discovered.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we can make ovals. Okay, so we are going to, do you want to switch, Teresa?
Sure.
There's a couple things that came in that we want to show you because we know you're excited to see what's here, and so am I. And one of them is the tab punch. And we just, who used the tab punch recently? It's $16.99. It's from American Crafts. We had ran out of it, but it's back in stock. It's great for mini albums and things. And then the other thing, the bold sayings is back in stock.
Oh yeah,
from Tim
I
Holtz.
like those.
And
gotta have those.
These are really nice quality cling rubber stamps. All of his stamps are great. And they're not perfect. When you stamp, you can see they're going to leave some like pinholes. And that's how they are. And then we got in this little flower punch that's probably going home with me today, Teresa. It's $10.49, and everybody needs little flowers. I know Katie used these a lot in her project that she did. And then we got in 3 Elizabeth Crafts, or 4, back in stock. And I wondered if we showed these already. I don't think we did. But this is the number, border, and patterns. And then we've got Planner Essentials number 4, and this one's got the tag and the little tabs.
I have that one.
How about Rounded Corners page? That's a new one.
Oh.
I mean, we've had it and sold out, but it's kind of cool because they're rounded.
And it has tabs in it too.
Tabs are hip, man.
Yeah.
And then here is the splatter page. And I'll flip it over so you can see there's some that are cut out right there. And I think those birds, I've been seeing a lot of birds on telephone lines lately. I don't know why, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. And there they have them right there. Then the last thing we want to show is we just finished up with the Iowa State Fair, which is an amazing event here in Iowa. And I know Texas has a big state fair, Minnesota. Chime in if your states also have a big state fair. But I wanted to show some of the items that we have for that, and I don't know where to start because I'm so excited about it. But we have cotton candy die cuts, and those are $3.99. And we have It's Fairlicious. You know, most people go for the food. Speaking of, here, this die cut is called Food on a Stick. And we do have a section on our shopping site under themes, and it says fairs and carnivals, and this will all be under there. Here's Iowa State Fair with the animals.
Did you go to the fair this year?
We did not make it to the fair.
No, I didn't either.
Here's a day at the fair.
Hopefully next year.
That one's got a short hook. This one, if you go to the Iowa State Fair, the Sky Glider is kind of a classic. I had a meltdown on that once, Teresa. I thought our car was going to fall off.
Oh.
And my husband videotaped the whole thing. Here's State Fair.
Do we have a butter cow? Someone wants to know. We have cows.
Our butter cow is out of stock. Yeah. So I'm guessing it's probably on its way in.
You can call and we'll put your name in the book.
Now this is a large one, which would be great for a scrapbook page if you wanted to scrapbook your trip out to the fair. You could also cut it apart and break it up if you were doing a mini album. And we also have a set of State Fair stamps.
I have those too. I really like those.
And remember, Dawn's doing her ABC State Fair book.
Yeah.
And she'll be bringing that in as soon as we get
And she has a list of things for ABC.
She does. There's county fair. We have tractor pull. This is adorable. This goats. That's super cute. Let's see. Those are some of the highlights. We also have these brads that we have shown, but a lot of our fair is agricultural based. So we've got the little tractors, and we've got the cow and the goat, which are super cute. And then we also have roosters. And then we have a sticker sheet called County Fair.
Well, that's fun. They've got the words.
Isn't that fun? And then you might also consider, if you went to the Iowa State Fair, we have 3 different stencils. So, and a lot of people might have forgotten that we have these, but we have, this is called All Over Iowa, and this one's called I Love Iowa, and then this one's called Iowa Nice. So we have all of those, and we also have some paper that says Iowa State Fair.
That's fun.
And we have paper that says Iowa State Fair, Nothing Compares.
Okay, Janice, this will be ready for you.
So that is kind of a quick and dirty look at the Iowa State Fair, or the State Fair section. And that's all online, or give us a call. We'd be happy to help you with that. You know, you gotta remember your fair memories, Teresa.
Yeah, definitely. It's a big deal in Iowa.
It's a huge deal. So everybody, thanks for watching this morning. I hope you have a wonderful week. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30, and if you go to our website and click on calendar, it'll tell you what we're doing each morning in the next couple weeks. So have a wonderful day.
Finish.